Movement is your best friend. Experience is not based on how much you sell or how much you make. Instead, it's on individual sales, and your trade range, or I guess interaction range, is much larger than you think. That and much more in today's tips video for Schedule 1. You can deal to people more than once per day. This person had to deal with my dealer. I couldn't sell to him, wait a bit longer in the game, all of a sudden I can. Spamming jump on random objects will likely give you a super jump, which is insanely useful in a lot of situations. One of which is going to a bus stop, wedging yourself on top of the bench, spamming jump, mounting your skateboard before you leave the overhead little resting area, and then you dismount when you want to go super freaking high. You can buy gold bars from Blue Balls Boutique for 10,000 on your credit card and then travel to the pawn shop and sell those same gold bars for upwards of 18,000 in cash. The important part here is you're buying the bars with your credit card and then you're selling them for cash. You're making a profit, but it takes a lot of time to put money onto your credit card. Before leaving the RV, let the grass grow, harvest it, and then dismantle all of the equipment used to grow it. The lights, the hanging apparatus, and the pots. And all of a sudden you have some mid-game gear, I suppose, out the gate. Multiply the suggested value for something by 1.6, and that should be your asking price. So 38 times 1.6 is roughly 60. That's what I sell OG Kush for. Always upsell to customers, both the value and the quantity, and schedule everything for nighttime. Late night is important. I'll explain that in a moment. But all these deals, I essentially go roughly half over and they'll take it. Dealers break down bricks and jars into baggies. Ideally give your dealers bricks, that way they can carry a bunch more, and the moment they have an interaction with a customer, they'll break it down into a jar and a baggie. This location is rough to make deals unless you max range the trade, which Doodles taught me this tech. It is life-changing because I always have to run from the cops in this spot, which makes it take way longer to trade versus just shimming up to a tree and dealing from the bushes. Put a bed in every single laundering business you have, so when you're done investing for the night, you can then go and rest and progress the day and move on from there and waste no time. When customers decline a phone offer for reasons you can't quite comprehend because you're always honest and fair with the price, go to them in person, which you can do instantly, and deal with them there. Pickpocketing is based on stack size. I have 2 baggies and 1 jar. The jar is worth a lot more, but I go back here and try and rob cow blind, and the baggies themselves have a much more difficult skill check than the single jar. The gold skateboard is the fastest and most agile vehicle in the game currently. And also you can hold space and then let go and do a little jump tech to make it go faster than it normally would. Veeper is an amazing investment. It costs you 9 grand, but if you actually use it, it'll save you so much in the long run. It has 16 slots of carrying capacity, back it up in the warehouse, and now you can pay cash for important ingredients such as soil. And he'll load it directly into the van instantaneously. This saves you from buying with credit card for deliveries because you can now deliver it yourself. The best time to set deals is late night. These will never expire. They'll always give you a curfew bonus, and you can go around knocking on doors to make even more deals since people will likely be home due to the curfew. 4 a.m. is where most things stop, but not everything, such as laundering money. That will continue even once the rest of the clock stop. It took me a while to realize that experience is not based on how much you sell or how much you make. It's about the individual sales. Go knocking on doors, making a sale every single time. You'll get far more experience. And dealers do take away experience from you, but you can deal multiple times per day, so it's not really a net negative unless you're always out and about selling. And this is how you go from making 400 experience to 815 per day. Most customers aren't home during the day. They're instead on the streets in random locations or at their set business, such as Dean and the tattoo shop. Gambling is life in this game. You can make so much money by gambling. You can also waste it away, but the slots are my jam. Never stop gambling. You can increase rep of suppliers by simply buying more supplies from them. I recommend maxing it out as often as you can and leave a bunch of cash in their specific drop boxes. That way you can pay it off instantly, and there's no need to go there and waste time. Launder as much money as you possibly can without ever having to withdraw from the ATM. That's the goal. You can see your laundering status for every laundering location by going to any one and hitting the computer. Trash goes in the trash corner and you can bag it all up at once. You won't get everything if you have a ton of trash, but it gives you much more than a simple trash can would. One of the best ways to level up right now is spamming OG Kush. Customers have a set limit they can spend in the first place, so if you can make enough OG Kush, you can meet demand and you can progress. Only thing that really matters later on is quality. And to fix that, simply add Fertilizer, and all of a sudden it goes from being blue to purple rarity, and it meets the high standards of the current max level customers in Uptown. If you need items from the store and you don't have any inventory on your person, you can still buy them and they'll be stored outside in the delivery bay. This is storage that will exist for essentially ever. This is helpful because sometimes you have stuff on your person out and about and you need to make a deal or steal something. Put them there and they'll exist. Discard anything you don't want anytime you see a red box in the bottom right of your screen. Try a pickpocket, no space, get rid of it. And now you can get the more important items. The police sometimes are after you for no good reason. If that's happening, find stairs next to buildings and spam jump for vertical movement. This shop right here is one of the better ones because you have cover, since cops can still see you down the street. But if you avoid them for long enough, you're no longer wanted. If you enjoy mixing Schedule 1 but find it a bit tedious, there's a website to make it a little bit easier, and you can rest assured there's no need to mix in the first place, at least not right now. Workers pull items from the top left of the inventory they're working with. So don't stack things such as all soil in a row. Instead, stagnate it. Go soil, seed, fertilizer, and PGR, for instance. The second you can talk to Manny, get yourself a botanist at the sweatshop, perhaps, but for sure, get 2 botanists and 2 handlers down to the bungalow as soon as you possibly can. Because now you can start automating processes and make the game much more streamlined and progress even faster. You can assign multiple things to one worker at one time by holding shift and left clicking each item. For botanists, they can do 8 pots or 8 drying racks or a mix of all of them. You can also shift left click the pots individually and figure out where they want to go for storage and what to use for them. You level up and can buy certain things before the game actually tells you. So if you're close to a level, I recommend going to the warehouse that opens after 6 p.m. and seeing if there's anything new you can purchase to save yourself a bunch of time. If you smash a Cuke machine or an ATM with a weapon, it will give you $10 if not $60. But once it's broken, it can't be used for a few days. Monday morning is when the ATM deposit resets, and I'm fairly certain that each person playing with you can deposit $10,000 per week. So if there's 4 people, 40K, 1 person, 10K. Cops can only see in a 160-degree arc. They do turn around sometimes. I'm not sure exactly why, so be careful. Hold right click to pick up multiple items at one time. You can also look in the bottom left for tooltips that would help you a lot that I did not look at for my first 30 hours of playing the game. Pickpocketing seems to have a cooldown. I lend them a jar and a baggie and I go to take back what's mine and there's nothing there. Must be the sewn on pockets, the new design trend where functionality goes out the window. I think if you reset your game, it does fix itself, but I'm not for certain. I think it could just be time. With that in mind, it may be smart to wait to pickpocket someone until they have more than 1 product to take back. This dude has 1 jar of glazed diver, and I sold to him previously, so he has 2. I'm gonna need that back, good sir. And sometimes they have jars and baggies, making it far easier to pickpocket if your dealers also sold to them. The police seize my frying pan, but not my right to bear arms. Austin, go ahead and hold these hands. If someone's calling the cops, you have no weapon, just throw some punches. 3 punches that land correctly with decent power will knock them out. To unlock new areas with customers, dealers, and sometimes suppliers, you have to rank up, and that's done by getting enough experience, which is why the whole door-to-door salesman strategy is very important, and you might be wise to cut back on how much your dealers are doing if you're really trying to get as much experience as possible, because they can take away from deals in the sense that they'll give out product at inopportune times, and you can't get multiple deals yourself. And I believe that dealers get less experience per deal, and you also get less money per deal than you can get by yourself. The best people to give the dealers are the brokies. If you have max loyalty and they still lowball you consistently, give them to a dealer and be done with it. Leave 1 space between your paraphernalia, so if a cop searches you, you can easily conceal the things that maybe shouldn't be there, but are necessary for your livelihood. And then go back to business, as per usual. If you're dealing in jars, I recommend selling at intervals of 5. This dude wants 8, I'll go to 10, and I'll upsell him to around 9.50. We'll do 8.15. I think he's a bit of a brokey sometimes. Late night, this person wants 6, we'll go to 10, and we'll upsell to around 8.35 as well. I'll go back and count, but that was a lot of information for Schedule 1. Hopefully it helps you in some way. If it does, awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Laters.